My coworker took a video of me outside of work to prove I'm not disabled. This story came January 14th, 2026. This is so weird, so I need to know if I'm crazy for going as far as I did. I have a condition of chronic pain. The way I explain it to people without chronic pain is that if pain were on levels from 1 to 10, normal people are at most at a 2 or 3 from day to day, where people with chronic pain are more at like a 6. Like imagine stepping on a Lego or hitting your funny bone. That's a very brief but excruciating 8. It's like if you pulled a muscle and there's been so much pain and discomfort if you move it, but that is pretty much on the daily. Some days I am higher on the scale, rare blessed days I'm more of a 4, or by some miracle I'm even lower. That is so sad. To just constantly live in pain, I can't imagine mentally and physically what that does to you. That makes me sad that people have to live like that. Overall, I am active and I operate well. I do own canes, but I only use them on days when I'm a 7 or above. Such a day came this past Sunday. On top of my full-time job, I also have a part-time job. Due to being physically and legally disabled, I had all the paperwork already filed with my job in case I ever needed accommodations. I have a handicap marker on my license plate and the card on my rear view mirror and all the works. I was recently moved to a location closer to my home. I love my new team. My boss, Amy, is really great. My colleague, Casey, and I get along okay, but we're the same position as assistant coordinators to Amy. The reason I moved to that location was that it expanded and they needed more hands, so they added me. Casey has always wanted a promotion for a long time and everyone knows it. I was pretty open that I don't. LOL. Any promotion from my position would be full-time and I already have a full-time job. I do this job to pad my savings and because I frankly like the job. Being busy also helps with my anxiety. I mean, Casey works hard, but she also likes to talk over me or rush to take charge of something before I can when I clearly was getting into it. She then announces it, "Oh, I handled that for you. Don't worry." And at first I was annoyed, but over time I was like, all right then, but you didn't have to. I talked to Amy about this. I wanted to pull my weight, but it can be challenging and redundant when Casey is racing to beat me to it. The point was for us to split tasks evenly. Guys, if you hear hammering, drilling, vacuuming, they are renovating one of the offices in my condo building and it just so happens to be on my floor. So this might be a fun journey for all of us over here. Amy said she would talk to her, and I don't know what came of that, but things didn't really change, so I just accepted it. So when I came on Monday with my cane, everyone had questions. I emailed Amy Sunday night, so she knew, but I tend to be private. So what I told everyone else was that I had a condition, and sometimes I need a cane, but not always. Amy accommodated that. She assigned me tasks that required little to no movement. I was very grateful, and I got everything done pretty early, so I called over the radio if there was anything else I could do. Casey said no, she's got it, so I just handled admin stuff that's usually on the back burner. Literally replied with, "Okay, I will tackle the admin list then." And Casey said no, she's got it, but Amy followed that with a thank you to me and confirmation that this would be helpful. I still needed my cane yesterday, Tuesday, and it was similar. I completed most of the admin to-dos and Amy was so relieved to have it done. She thanked me for coming in and doing all of that instead of calling out. Casey made a comment that she could have helped, but I said that's okay, and I thanked her for handling the more physical tasks. We ended up walking to the parking lot together and she asked which car was mine, so I pointed at it. Then she said, "So I know you're not disabled, by the way." And I asked what she meant. She just repeated herself and said, "So no cane tomorrow? Okay, I won't tell. Just no cane tomorrow." I stood there like, what the f? But I was meeting my best friend and I just left so that I would make it there on time. I met my best friend Joy at the bar and we had a wonderful time. I brought my cane, but to be honest, I didn't always use it. For example, I didn't use it to walk from my table to the bar to request another drink, or when I got up to hug Joy goodbye. Today, when I woke up, my pain was higher than normal, so I took my cane along. I texted Amy that I have a cane, but I'm doing okay in small bursts, so put me in, coach. I was having a good time at my main job, and I didn't give Casey a thought. I arrived at my part-time job, and Casey saw my cane and went red. I mean, like the way I looked when the Eagles lost to the 49ers. Just super mad. I greeted everyone and she ignored me completely. We got our assignments and she snidely said to me, "Well, can you handle that with your cane and all?" in a tone that even made Amy turn to look at her like WTF. I said I can manage and I thanked her for her concern and we went about our work. Once again, she raced to beat me to things and sang over the radio, "Don't strain yourself. I did this task," or "I got this done." I was so confused until about an hour ago when we finished work. She again walked with me to the parking lot, but this time she showed me a video. It was me. It was me at the bar last night with Joy. I was like, why do you have this video of me? That's weird. She said, "It's proof." I asked, "Of what?" And she said, "It's proof I'm not disabled and I acted so wounded all day at work, but suddenly I don't need the cane at a bar?" What? I wanted to explain that that's just not how chronic pain works. Like, yes, I can stand up to hug my friend or get up and walk 3 strides to order a new drink, but I can't, for example, lean over and organize a bottom drawer without a chair to sit in. I wanted to explain that chronic pain is just an umbrella, and under it is a bunch of experiences and abilities that honestly, if she had left my tasks alone, I would have them done. She didn't give me the chance and said, "No cane tomorrow. I'm serious, or I'm going to Chad." Chad is Amy's boss, so he's a higher up to Amy. I said, "About what?" But she was already walking away from me and just got in her car. It's just weird. And oddly, Chad would know this BS because his boyfriend has chronic pain too. I'm not so much worried about being found out or anything, but it's just weird. And I'm literally typing an email to Amy, CCing Chad about this weird behavior because it's just odd. Am I crazy to want to preemptively explain this? I am anxious and paranoid in general, so I don't want to overreact or make things worse. No, this is weird behavior. Firstly, she followed you after work. She quite literally followed you to a bar with the intention of catching you in something that she thinks is, not real or not true or something. That's crazy behavior. And then to accuse, wild. She then added an edit to this post and said, "I sent the email and also thanks for letting me know I'm not crazy for feeling weirded out. Also, I will be simply blocking anyone who is saying that my story is fake. I don't have time for your BS, to be frank." I also texted Amy and Chad. They both have responded, so we will see how today goes. I'm intrigued. The next update came the next day, January 15th. I was asked a lot to update when I got off work, so here it is. Today was weirdly quiet, which almost made it worse. Not sure what everyone knows, but they at least know something is up. I wasn't even in the same area as Casey during check-in, and I have no clue when she actually arrived. I usually see her as our shifts are the same hours. Turns out she had been assigned to the back office doing other tasks, hours reduced, while I was put at the admin booth at the entrance handling paperwork and spreadsheets. So we didn't cross paths at all at first. I actually turned on a voice recorder app as soon as I got to work, just in case. I also added a shortcut on my phone so that I can start recording quickly if I need to, just in case. I didn't want to be caught off guard like before. I did feel a little silly doing it, but I'd rather be silly than unprepared, I didn't see Casey until near the end of the shift, and even then, it was barely a glimpse. She looked up, saw me, immediately turned away, like full-on avoidance. It made my stomach drop. I just turned away and minded my business. Amy was very reassuring, but also vague at first. I didn't like it, and I think my face said so, and she said she doesn't like all the red tape and such either, but to be patient because they need to go through all the right channels and steps. Amy let me go home early, but she told me to log my full hours anyway, and made it clear that she and Chad are actively talking about this and taking it seriously, and I am almost certain she and he had been texting throughout the whole shift. She also walked me to my car and said that they will continue for now until everything is resolved. About an hour after my shift ended, I got an email from her with Chad CC'd saying that tomorrow, Friday, Casey will be assigned to admin duty in the back office unless something changes before the shift, and that we should not be interacting at all. It's a long weekend, so I figure all the behind the scenes stuff will be happening then. I also found out that Casey already, quote, presented her evidence. That includes the video she showed me before and another video from yesterday, Wednesday. Apparently, she filmed me at a local winery during Wine Wednesday. There's a clip of me getting up to grab a bottle a few steps away, and later another clip of me standing up and doing a small little celebratory dance after a tabletop game win. That's the part that really messed with my head because hold on, when did she start recording me? For how long? I mean, I could maybe believe coincidence once, like, okay, lightning struck and it's weird. Same town, same general area, blah, blah, blah. But twice in 2 different days, 2 different places? That's when it stopped feeling like a paranoia getting the best of me and started feeling unsettling. I'm honestly starting to wonder if this is something that might need police involvement, as some of you suggested. And I hate that my brain even went there, but I mean, what other options are there right now? I'm typing this from a bar right now, but not the same one as before, thank God. It is still local to the school and it's Thirsty Thursday, so there's a bigger happy hour discount if you show your school ID. My friend Joy is with me and a couple other friends are on their way. Joy had been here during my shift in case I needed any backup fast. That said, my head is absolutely on a swivel, and so is Joy's. I don't feel relaxed the way I normally would. I keep scanning the room without meaning to, and when people get too close to me or stand in any way facing me, I look up to see if it's her. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'd be on full alert. I would be looking for her everywhere because she's obviously following you or like tracked your car or something crazy. I'm still trying to process all of this, and honestly, I'm confused more than anything. I keep going back and forth between maybe this is nothing and this doesn't feel normal. Right now, I'm just documenting everything and doing what HR tells me to do, but I don't like how small and watched this situation is starting to feel, and I hate that I'm recording every moment I can just in case she pops up. If nothing else, I'm safe tonight and I will be staying at Joy's house. I'm not alone and work has made sure that we're separated for now. I guess we'll see what tomorrow brings. So unless something crazy happens, I won't be updating until this is resolved. We do have more. So it's either gotten crazier or it's been resolved. We will find out. She did add a quick edit to this though before the update, and it says, I just replied to a follow-up email answering some recurring questions that HR asked. My answers all ended up centered around, I have never directly or indirectly invited Casey out anywhere. We are not friends outside of work and have never socialized one-on-one. I was also asked whether I feel safe at work. Right now, yes, because management has taken steps to separate us and has been very present and supportive. I've yet to be alone at all at work. I'm continuing to follow their guidance and document everything as I've been instructed. This is so bizarre. Before we get to the update, you already know the drill, okay? We gotta hydrate. It's hydration station. We gotta drink our water. Cheers. Okay, update on this book because a lot of you guys actually read it and gave me some insight and said to just keep going. I'm on I think chapter 14 now. I'm this far in, all right? I like it. I understand it's a little slow, but I feel like in the slow, I just really like it so far. This is my first fantasy book ever. I usually read just a very different style. So I'm liking it, all right? I will keep you posted. Everyone has warned me about the crazy plot twist at the end, and I'm just trying to figure it out. I don't know what the hell's gonna happen, but I like it, all right? I'm vibing with it. The next update came 8 days later. We are now at January 23rd. I'm hoping this is my final update on the matter. Legal is now involved. I genuinely didn't even know our organization even had a legal department, but apparently it does, and they are looped in alongside HR. An HR rep has been communicating with me, but honestly, things have been very quiet on that front, which I'm taking as no news is good news. I'm still at my school and I still love it. I love the students and faculty and even the parents. Casey has been transferred to an admin position at an office in the company that I don't even go to. I haven't seen her since my last post, and I'm glad for that. Work has been peaceful without her. I have more work to do now as the only assistant coordinator there, but I'm starting to get my rhythm, and the staff there has been very supportive. Plus, I've had more chances to get to know the people that I work with. What I didn't expect was finding out that almost from the moment I joined that campus, Casey had been trying to spread rumors about me, including suggesting that I'm a danger to kids or that I have an explosive temper, which is honestly wild to hear about myself. I'm almost always described by others as soft-spoken to a fault, and usually get told I need to be more strict with my students. If anything, I balance Amy out as the good cop to her bad cop. Plus, the angry black woman troops are so freaking tired, so it was extra annoying to find out that she was trying to paint me as such. She also said to people that the reason she took over my tasks was because I did them wrong or made her job harder and she had to redo things. She basically had a narrative that I was Mr. Magoo, caused chaos, and that she was the saintly, hardworking teammate trying to clean up the messes so that I don't get in any trouble. HR is still investigating, and I've been told to continue documenting anything that comes up. I'm ready to do so, but so far it has been quiet. One unexpected upside is that I am now the sole person at my campus with my title, which came with a pay raise. Not how I would have chosen to get it, but I will take the win. I also did file a police report. I think I mentioned this in my last post, but if not, I was told very clearly that filming in public places isn't illegal and that there's no reasonable expectation of privacy in those spaces. So there was no criminal action taken. The report is strictly documentation. The local places I frequent have been made aware of the situation and that a report exists. My friends were incredible. They helped me get my car cleaned and detailed just to be absolutely sure there wasn't anything like a tracker or an air tag like some comments suggested we do. Yes. I also finally got around to asking my neighbor to help me install my other security cameras. I used to only have one and my doorbell cam. Now I can pull up live footage on the whole system all around my house. And to those suggesting a dash cam, I already have one. I never used that feature, so my friends helped me. My car is fairly new and I'm still getting used to it. I did start to go over and back up all footage going back since I started at the campus by motion activation points, and I now have a hilarious compilation of the neighborhood cats being adorable or the crows I feed leaving random things. So another good thing came from this. I'm not changing my routines, but I would be lying if I said I wasn't still a little on edge, especially since multiple coworkers mentioned hearing Casey blow up at Amy on her last day on campus, and Amy sent her home for the day. Well, yeah, she did want that different position and promotion. Instead, she got transferred. What she said varies depending on who tells it, but the fact that it happened at all doesn't exactly make me feel warm and fuzzy, as I'm sure you'll understand. But I tell myself everything that can be done on my end has been done. So I try not to stress about it. That said, I also reached out to a few lawyers just to understand my options. I'm very aware that HR exists to protect the company, not me, so I want to cover my bases. I met with one over Zoom on my lunch break, so wish me luck. I still record when I walk to and from my car. My therapist reminded me to be more careful and make sure being proactive doesn't turn into living in fear and giving in to the anxiety and PTSD from past trauma. I'm taking that seriously as my mental health has been a journey and I don't want to go back to the way I was before. I can't and won't let someone else shrink my life again. I do want to address recurring comments because I can't reply to everyone individually. People are saying she goes to bars a lot. drinking is bad. Yes, I go to bars. No, that does not mean I drink heavily or have a drinking problem. I mean, look, I'm disabled and I socialize what my body allows, and that's an isolating enough experience if I let it be. My friends go to bars, so sometimes that's where I go. Sometimes I drink, sometimes I don't. Sometimes it's a mocktail, sometimes it's a soda. I know my body better than strangers on the internet, to be blunt. For what it's worth, my ex was an alcoholic and he was abusive and spiraled until it ended him, so I promise I'm very aware of what that looks like, and I'm probably one of the last people to be overly concerned about that matter. Next comment people were making, how does she have time to work 2 jobs and go out? Why won't she just go home? I do in fact have time to go out after work. I work from home full-time and part-time at the school. If I go straight home after a long day, I tend to just keep working. I'm a workaholic by nature, and going out helps me actually relax and not make my entire life about my job. I also intentionally line up paid time off with most school holidays to rest and take staycations. This is me managing my health both physically and mentally, not avoiding reality. Right now, I am both safe and supported. I'm cautious, but I'm still living my life. I'm choosing not to let this take over my entire world, and this is supported by my therapist. People will judge anything you do. If you just start even just saying what your life is or things you do, people will always have something to say. There's an edit here. She came back and edited the post and said, the ice storm woke me up and I looked at my phone. Joy and my other friends had a group chat and I think they forgot which chat I'm on with them because they've been trading screenshots of Casey's social media. From what they gathered, Casey did put some of her socials on private in the last day or so, but that didn't stop my friends from screenshotting some disturbing posts. I did forward this all to the HR rep that I am in contact with. Oh boy. It's not looking good for Casey, and to be honest, I don't think it should. That's wild behavior. It really is. Very, very, very odd. Anyways, all I can say is it's weird. I agree, it's weird, and I don't think you overreacted at all. I think you took every step that you should have along the way. So let me know your thoughts though, you guys. Stay classy out there. Stay sassy. I'll see you tomorrow.